Hello everyone, and welcome back to World of Warships Blitz with Terry. Today we are looking at a ship that looks exactly like this when you see it, at least when I'm playing it, most of the time. Because this is the Richelieu. This is my Richelieu, this is my personal account, and this is a ship that I go to when I'm frustrated, sometimes. And I just want to have a couple of games to cleanse my palate and had to deal with, or if I'm feeling unclean or anything. This is just an all-around good ship. It's not overpowered. It's not the greatest ship. It's not more powerful than Atlantico or anything, but it's a good ship. It's a solid tier 8 ship, and it's just fun to play, and the guns are really just nice. I don't know which ship I had recently that had 380mm guns, 8 of them, and had been recently buffed, so I was forced to re-review the darn thing. It's a Vanguard. This ship is good compared to that. These guns hurt. These guns hit hard. These guns are fun. Anyway, my Richelieu, so no, you can't have it, it's mine. But it's fun, and I have 2 games for you today that I will show you. Just a quick overview of how she is configured. Also, because I mentioned it because somebody said, oh, we don't really see Richelieus all that often. Haha, I can help you with that. I've got one. She gets this is the historical camo, and you can get the ornamental one if you're so inclined. I am not, because it's a battleship and not and not a 1920s theater. But the camo looks nice, and it's the standard battleship camo, so it's really that's what you have. I am actually sailing this with precise aim, because, the dispersion is not the greatest, let's be fair. And you really don't want to use the main battery mod 2, because she only has 2 guns. Which means that if you get one shot off, then you lose half your firepower. And the rest is just standard battleship stuff. But my commander is almost at level 11, which I'm very excited about, because then I can do this. So all you're going to be seeing is played without the APCS, just as a little reminder. Last things, elite bonus, you get the main battery reload, which makes sense, and you get the torpedo damage reduction, which does not, so there's only one choice. And with that, we have an actual reload of just under 20 seconds. And these are nice guns. They hit really hard. And they're fun. So, without much further ado, let's go and look at some gameplay. Before we begin with the first round, I would like to say 2 things. First of all, I would like to thank the enemy team. You'll see why. For, well, the amount of derpage that's been provided. Secondly, I would like to say that if I'm laughing, I'm not laughing about you. I'm laughing with you, all right? If somebody does something silly, then we can laugh about them. But that doesn't mean that they're stupid or that they're incompetent or that we should make fun of them or anything like that. It's not personal. It's a game. And just see yourself as part of the entertainment. So, we are fighting Indomitable, Black Amagi, Regular Amagi, Poltava, Brooklyn, Fantask, and a Benson. And we are Domination on Haunted Seas. I like Haunted Seas. It's double Indomitable, so fires galore. The Richelieu actually has really good AA. She can take down a fair amount of planes if she needs to. She doesn't have a defensive AA, but we are spawning on the right flank, which means we're going to go over to Sea Cup together with the one of the cruisers and one of the destroyers on our team. It's an Erland and a New Orleans. Okay, cool. The other thing that the Richelieu has is 2 engine boosts. And with the engine boost up, she does over 35 knots. Which means twice in the battle, she can relocate actually reasonably quickly. So for now, hopefully the Erland goes Cap, but something is going to come through that gap there. Because on the enemy team, there's going to be at least 1 battleship, and 2 other ships as well, presumably one of the destroyers. So right about there, that's where the enemy team is. How do I know that? Well, I've done this a couple of times, all right? So the carrier is scouting in that direction, which means, there's the Benson. Literally where I pointed him to be. So shots out at the Benson. I did have the armor piercing loaded, so that's probably going to overpen. It does, but there's also the Brooklyn. And the Brooklyn is, well, giving me a nice flat broadside. So A, there are going to be Benson torpedoes in the way. But that's not a problem, because I'm bow in, because there's also a battleship coming. So shots out at the Brooklyn, and bow in towards the Poltava. And yes, that was half the Brooklyn gone. And that's why I love my Richelieu. And the Brooklyn just ran into a couple of Erland torpedoes and figured that not even 2 minutes in, he's lost most of his ship. Which means I can probably leave him to the rest of my team and start working on that Poltava. Hello, Mr. Poltava. Now, as you can see, I am actually reversing that ship. And yes, that hurt. I am actually reversing the ship, because that means I can open up the distance and not actually be hit by the Poltava quite as much. Because while the Richelieu doesn't have any armor, she doesn't need any armor, because she can fight like this. And that means I can, yes, do that again to the Poltava. And he is now sort of starting to sail behind the island, but he can't really do it in return, because he's got trouble on actually getting the shells in. So I get one more salvo off at that guy. At this range, there we go, shots out, but there comes the Benson. So I might need the high explosive at some point, but not until I give the whole Poltava a little tap. And I went in that with some damage. That Poltava is pretty much halfway gone. Hello, Mr. Brooklyn. I still have the armor piercing loaded. And that would be a Brooklyn that decided that he wants to sit still in broadside on at 6 kilometers in front of a Richelieu. And that's what happens when you do that. I've already switched to the HE. There come the Benson torpedoes, completely predictable. So I should be able to dodge most of these. Yep, there comes the second spread. I am taking some fire on the left here. And I think my HE is just not reloaded. Otherwise, that would have been a dead Benson. But that's okay. I think at this point, the Öland and the New Orleans can take him out, because I have a full health Amagi to deal with. So let's unload the HE at him, just because I had it loaded, and then we'll go and deal with the Amagi. I mean, that's a full health Amagi. And that Poltava is still alive. The carrier would actually be would have been better to hit the Poltava, to be honest, because he's the bigger threat. The Benson is a one-shot kill for the New Orleans, and probably going to get away with it. So, well, just get some shots out. Yeah, he's gone. Okay, so, Amagi. Hello, Mr. Amagi. You are... Oh, there come the Benson torpedoes. Yep, I know, I've seen these. You know, this... this is literally why this trip is so much fun. Hello, Mr. Amagi. You are sitting still and broadside on. He's not AFK. Just took a fire there. But the Poltava is now trying to escape into the next map, because he's probably running somewhat low on hit points. He is looking at me, but he's not shooting at me. He sees a cruiser. So, of course, he loads the high explosive shells. And to be fair, he could have had the HE loaded against the destroyer. But, yeah. If he's not shooting at me, and that means I can actually... I don't have to be bow in, right? I can get my secondaries on target. And he's still not shooting at me, and he's still firing HE at the New Orleans. I'll take it, right? It's and goodbye, Mr. Amagi. Oh, almost, not quite. There we go. And there's my close quarters expert in Richelieu. And look what we've got there: the Indomitable, who has run out of friends, and needs to escape from the enemy battleship that comes down from that side over there. Which means he is now running into an island, quite unfortunately, which means I get to do that to him. Hello, Mr. Indomitable. How do you like them shells? And, oh, he gets away with a sliver of health, and the friendly Indomitable takes him out. Okay, that's alright. HE loaded, because there's a full health Le Fantasque. How is there a full health Le Fantasque at this stage in the battle? What have you been doing the whole time? You're not a stealth torpedo boat. Oh, he goes after the Indomitable. That's not actually a terrible thing. The problem is you're not going to sink him in one go. And once I am actually in range... and that's a Bismarck back there. Then he's the last ship alive. So can I lob this? Nah, I can't get through. It's always worth checking, because sometimes the island hitboxes are a little bit wonky. And you really have... and you might be getting shells through where you think you shouldn't be. But that one didn't. Oh, hello. Are you trying to get the torpedoes on the other side away against the Indomitable? Yeah, I can assist with that. Oh yeah, there they go. And that, say, almost goodbye. Well, this is the HE. HE doesn't do a huge amount of damage, but You might have torpedoes reloaded, so I am actually going to... Well, I'm just going to go bow in, because that means I can use all my guns. And in 3 seconds, you're... Oh, you're not even looking at me. Good night. I love this so much. Okay, so this result, well, not like record-breaking, but has been achieved with a generous contribution from the enemy team. So how about if that's not quite the case? So let's do that again. And the second round is a 6v6, and we're up against Triple Atlantico. Woohoo! Triple Atlantico, Zeton, and a Z23, and a Mahan. Actually, it's not Mahan, it's Mahan. I just learned that. I just watched, or I just started watching Drax's video on that. And he called him Mahan, and I was like, oh crap, I've been saying that wrong the whole time. Also, I'm pretty sure I heard Jingle saying that, and I figured, well, he probably knows, but I should have known better. But anyway, we are up against Triple Atlantico. I said that already, didn't I? And it's a bot carrier. Epicenter, frozen shelter, let's go. And I'm in a Richelieu. We do have a Sims and a Belfast 43, so pretty... the Sims, given that the carrier is not going to scout, because it's a bot carrier, and bot carriers don't scout, the Sims should be able to outspot any of these guys. And the Belfast, if he plays along, should be able to counter the enemy destroyers quite a bit. Black Amagi on there. So I have two choices. I can either go on the left side of that island and hold down the flank, or I can go on the right side and start targeting the center. The thing with the left side is that you're shielded from fire incoming from the center. And I'm checking what the Amagi is doing, and it looks like the Amagi is going inside. So I'm going to go outside and just checking what's coming down there and see if, and making sure that we're not getting outflanked here. So if you see your team basically abandoning this flank like this, it's not a terrible position to be in, because you'll be in the outer ring, and especially in a ship like a Richelieu, I can basically hide most of the ship next to that island, which makes me almost invulnerable against fire from the center, and also helps against incoming fire from the flank. And you see that little ledge there, right in front of me? That actually provides additional shielding while I can fire with the front turrets over it. It provides additional shielding from incoming fire. So this is an extremely strong position here if you're in something that... if you need to tank something, especially in a ship like this. Okay, Z23, first customer. We've got nothing better to shoot at, so I'm going to inch out here and just get salvo off at the Z. And then we'll put her in reverse and get back into cover. There's one Atlantico. And that was a nice 2,500 damage on that thing, but somebody else can pick it up from there. The Sims is in the center position. We've got an Atlantico. This is... oh, no, never mind. There's a Zeton. And there's the Mahan. Okay, so Mahan and Zeton. Mahan is sitting still. No, he's reversing, so he's probably got torpedoes away. He's firing armor piercing at me for some reason. Not sure why, but unloading the AP because that's what I had loaded. And then getting behind the island such that any kind of torpedoes are not a threat, because there they come the torpedoes. And then we might switch over to the HE after I've unloaded at that Zeton over there. Zeton has torpedoes as well, so we do need to be somewhat careful. Shots out, HE loaded, just in case the Mahan makes a push, but it looks like Mahan decides, nope, I don't want to go there. I get shot at from over there. So now we just need to hold the flank down against the Zeton. Zeton, German battle cruiser, not greatest ship in the world, but oh well, it's got torpedoes, so we will unload the HE at that thing, and he seems to be relatively determined to push. So HE unloaded, and back to the armor piercing, and then we'll just keep reversing. We do have to be a little bit careful not to take crossfire from the center, but the Atlantico's got other stuff to shoot at, so I'm just holding against this guy, and he seems to have run out of... Okay, maybe I don't really wanna push that much. Maybe I just want to sit here, broadside on, to the Richelieu. And these actually, I didn't manual aim. These were pulled into the belt. It looks like the Zeton is relatively high in the water, and that I need to actually manually aim. And he's reversing now. So he's basically realized that he probably does not want to push. So let's try the manual aim and see if that goes any better. And yeah, that went significantly better. Shot one of his torpedo tubes off and did a little bit of a friendly tap. Now the Atlanticos are still over there, so I'm not in range of those secondaries. And Zeton realized, okay, maybe I shouldn't be backing up. Maybe I should be coming forward again. The thing is, with the Richelieu in this position, you're not really, I'm over-penetrating the thing, you're not really going to be achieving an awful lot, because as long as I've got space to back up and you're undecided, so either you push it or you don't. But hesitate and you're going to get murdered because because that's just what Richelieus do. And he's also now coming under bot carrier attack. Is he in secondary range? Almost. I think I can actually show a bit more side and start getting my secondaries on target. And then we'll move forward. I think at this point I can just outright kill this guy. Just use the secondaries. He might have torpedoes away, but I think they're slow enough that I can engine boost out of there just in case they're coming. And he's now run into an island, so that's not so much of an issue. They have lost one destroyer so far, but we are still holding the center cap, and yeah, that Seaton is about to die. And there he goes. There come the torpedoes. That's why I wasn't sitting still. Now, there's a full health Atlantico, and there's 3 of the buggers. So the Mahan is still there. And that guy. So I don't want to get anywhere close to that guy. Now the problem is when you're talking Atlanticos, close is within 10 kilometers range. But he's got other things to shoot at, so that's okay. And he's got torpedoes incoming. And there's the third one. The third one's already taken a bit of damage. And I now want to get again into a bow-in situation. Who are you and where are you going? North Carolina. Okay, North Carolina decides he wants to commit suicide by Atlantico. He can. I mean, why would you? You're not a brawler. These guys are. And they're sailing outside the capture circle, so we get the points income. So don't. Stay at range. I mean, it's just an Atlantico, right? These things are not that scary anymore after the deck plating's been nerfed. They don't have an awful lot of hit points, and as long as you're not staying Damaconing single fires right in front of 2 of the buggers, you should be alright. But yeah, that North Carolina is now very dead, but that Atlantico is sailing away, which means I can just once again park myself here. I will probably now get their undivided attention, literally because they have nothing else to shoot at. So there's going to be a lot of AG spam incoming. Which means, can I get another salvo off at that guy? Maybe. Let's try if I can get it around. Yep, I can get some shells around, but it's a little bit further, a little bit to the rear. Now it's, I have managed to still kill the Atlantico, double fire, Damacon that. I'm out of heals, which is okay. I have been tanking. So just because I've been sitting in the back here doesn't mean I haven't been tanking it, because the Atlantico is looking at me only. Yeah, well, look at those torpedoes. That would be the Sims. And torpedoes work against Atlanticos just as well as everything else. So that guy's now very dead. And that just leaves the bot carrier. And it looks like he just literally stopped, run into an island or something. And I might still be able to get him unless somebody else gets him first. Shots out. Dead Atlantico. Where's that bot carrier? And yeah, he's dead. I'm down to 3,000 hit points. I have done my tanking. And with that kill, we win on points. So no more bot carrier killing. But it's not that I haven't been tanking in the Richie, right? It's not that I haven't been taking damage in this thing. It's just that you can play this ship in such a position and in such a way that you can negate a lot of the incoming fire. And with good use of your heals, you can actually take quite a bit of damage in this ship and sustain quite a bit of damage. So this is still one of my absolute favorite ships, and I love this battleship to death, especially because of the gun placement and because these 380s, unless other 380s of a certain island people persuasion, actually hit really, really hard. So there you go. Anyway, that's it for me today. Thanks everybody, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.